Hello everybody and welcome back to the Tabletop Temple, where we paint, we play, and we pray to the dice gods. Today's video I am going to be continuing my Grimcoven paint series, and this time I'm going to be painting the Devourer. It's really hard to believe that I only have 2 griefbounds left, but without further ado, sit back, relax, and let's get started. So the first 2 colors I'm going to be going over is going to be for his tentacles. And the colors I've decided to go with is actually a mix of Caribbean Ocean from Army Painter and Gravelord Gray from Army Painter. I wanted his skin to be blue, but I also want it to be, well, really an ocean blue, but I want it to be a little bit darker. So it's about a 2-to-1 ratio mix. So there's a couple of things that I want to go ahead and apologize for. One being that it's been a while since I've gotten out a Grimcoven paint video. 2 is my lighting. I will correct it in a few seconds, as you're going to see once I reveal the next color. And then 3, I actually lost the video of me painting the skin on his tentacles and face. But that Caribbean Ocean and Gravelord Gray mixture, this is the end result. So again, I do apologize. But let's move on to the next color. So moving on to the next color, I've decided to go with Hive Dweller Purple for a very particular reason on his clothes in the back. Reading a bit into the game and playing it, it looks like this guy was some sort of preacher, maybe priest, that got addicted to the lament and turned into the Devourer creature, as you're seeing right before your eyes. So I decided to paint the clothes in the back from what I'm assuming, at least, is maybe some priest robes that he's wearing. And I decided to go with purple priest robes. Say that 3 times and see if it's a tongue twister. Let me know in the comments if it is. But yeah, Hive Dweller Purple is the color I decided to go with. And this, kids, is why lighting is so important. Whenever I was coloring on the purple and I tried filming it beforehand, I've noticed that the purple was way too dark, which, by the way, there's a lot more clothes that he's wearing towards the front, so I've decided to paint those purple too. But as you can see, the lighting catches the purple a heck of a lot better. But let's go on to the next color, which is Murder Scene. I went with Murder Scene to kind of coincide with the purple robes. So very simple what that's being painted for. It's going to be painted for his this little bit of cloth in the front that he's wearing, as well as his Pope hat, as you're going to see in a little bit. At least I think it's called the Pope hat. I call it the Pope hat. So, one thing I do want to mention about this miniature, at least in comparison to the other Griefbound bosses, he has quite a little bit more tight spaces and corners to get to, especially inside of his mouth. So, but anyway, this is the end result of the murder scene. And now it's time to go ahead and paint his teeth. It should come to no stranger to anybody else, especially if you're a fan of this channel, but I decided to go with Bony Matter. I really like painting teeth bony matter on monsters and creatures, because I truly think it brings out that gross grittiness that monsters tend to have. So paint his teeth. He's obviously got some on his lower jaw, but they can be hidden by a tentacle or his tongue that he's apparently sticking out at everybody. Now it's time to make him fit with the lament dark red look of the game, and the color I decided to go with is blood red, and this is going to be for his tongue as well as the bottom of the tentacles, the little suction cuppy on the tentacles. Because taking a look at his artwork, they're red. usually you would paint this like a purplish pink on squid creatures, or kraken creatures if you want to call it, but like I said, in the artwork it's red. So, and here's what I was talking about with the tight corner spaces inside his mouth. It was really hard to paint the red, so I really hope I got it good as best as I can. So yeah, blood red, a fan favorite of mine. And this is the end result for the blood red on all of the tentacles as well as his mouth. After taking a look at it after I painted it, I truly think that this brings out that bluish gray skin of his. So on to the next color. So now I'm going to go ahead and paint all of the chains that are surrounding him. There are some surrounding his tentacles and holding up these lanterns, as well as there's some on the bottom and one that he's even holding. So the colors I've decided to go with is actually going to be a combination of both Broadsword Silver and Talos Bronze from Speedpaint Army Painter collection. So as you'll see in a couple of seconds, I'm going to show you the end results. So with the Broadsword Silver, I got all the chains and the lanterns up on the top, and with the Talos Bronze, I've gotten all the smaller chains that are on his, I guess, his stomach and around his lower tentacles, as well as that cup that he's holding. So, on to the next color. So as a final step, I decided to take Zealot Yellow from Army Painter and paint his eye and his Pope hat. And as you're going to see in a second, because again, I apologize, I lost the footage for it, I decided to paint the lanterns, block it out with white, and painted those yellow as well, just to kind of bring them to life that they're actual lanterns. But that is the final step that you can paint the Devourer from Grimcoven. If you liked today's video, please drop a like on it, leave a comment on what you think, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. But as always, I'm your friendly neighborhood guru, and I will see you on the next Tabletop Temple. Goodbye, my friends.